And we are back.
This isn't Dark Souls.
Don't. I'm trying to create timeless content here. Shut up. Nobody watches these when they upload. Anyways, we are here with some more Into Creates goodness. We are checking out Blaster Master Zero.
Ooh.
How much do you know about Blaster Master?
I know that you play as a tank, but you can get out of the tank and then you're really small.
So we're going to start with a quick summary of what's going on in this thing, because this is like the wildest lore I have ever seen, and it only exists as a backstory to the areas you explore in this game. And the only reason it plays out like this is probably in reference to the original Blaster Master's plot. Anyways, in the future, humanity had a huge technology, but they still fought a ton, and that fighting caused a winter, a global ice age, that forced all of humanity underground. They then built huge underground cities and developed technology to get past the ice age. Their technology was so good that they also just brushed off a meteor that hit the planet. That'll come into play later. And yeah, that's all the Ice Age means. They make this whole Ice Age plot, and it's just to explain that there's an underground city under everything. But now everyone's back on the surface, and the underground city has been forgotten because it's been hundreds of years since that.
Uh-huh.
Are you following me still?
So basically, people went underground, and then they came up, and now we're going back underground again.
So this is Jason Frednick. He's our player character.
The frog?
The guy who's showing in the sprite work.
I see a frog on my screen.
They'll show him again. Anyways, he's an engineering student. He's a scientist. And he has discovered this frog who one day, he just kept as a pet, and one day the frog just opened a portal on the ground and jumped through it. Jason followed him and ended up in this underground cavern with a giant ass tank called Sophia 3. But no frog. The frog's name is Fred, by the way.
Gotcha. Interesting.
So anyways, because there are tutorials on the tank, and because he's a scientist, he very quickly learns how to drive the tank. And now, because he's underground, we're going to be exploring the underground cities that have been lost for centuries now to find Fred.
Nice.
And that's the opening.
Gotta say, this is looking incredibly retro. They got the whole fucking black background title screen and everything.
Yes, it's
wonderful. I love it.
It is wonderful. On a scale of Yooka-Laylee to Shovel Knight, this is like at the same point of Shovel Knight.
This looks like it goes even further beyond what Shovel Knight did. This looks like it's trying even harder to replicate like NES era stuff.
Yeah. So this was developed for the 3DS, but during development, the Switch got announced, so it also launched on the Switch. So it launched on both systems. I actually don't know how many people actually played this on a 3DS. I really wish I got it on 3DS before that store shut down, but I didn't even realize it was on 3DS. I thought it just launched on Switch and Steam. You can also play it on Steam. The entire trilogy.
Right, and this is Blaster Master Zero, which is, from what I understand, a prequel.
No.
Is it not?
So.
What the fuck is it then?
We'll get into that as the series continues.
Oh,
anyways, you remember that meteor I brought up?
Yeah.
Okay, so that meteor contained mutant aliens. They're called mutants, but they're also aliens. But they're also most definitely mutants. So basically apply both spectrums of what that can mean to these creatures, and that's what they are.
Little man.
So now they have infected the underground portion of Earth. So a part of your
Is there fall
so
damage?
part of your journey. So part of your journey is going to be stopping them as well. They don't really explain this though. They're just kind of here. It's really funny. You have to pick this up from other things. So, anyways, yes, the tank controls in a 2D side scroller. It is very, very loose controlling. I don't know how much you noticed of that as I was controlling it.
Yeah, I've played. I should say I've played about an hour of this game.
Okay. And yes, when you hop out of the tank, you have fall damage. Basically, as soon as you are a single block higher than your jump height, you will take a bit of fall damage. Once you reach like 3 blocks higher, it's an insta-kill, no matter how much health you have. This game is really, really unforgiving with that.
Okay.
And that was me showing off a little bit of the fall damage at the beginning because I knew I could survive that fall.
Yeah, I remember the game when I was initially playing it, feeling slightly, I don't want to say brutal, but a little cruel sometimes with just like stuff like fall damage.
Yeah.
And going back really far when you die.
Thankfully, there is no life system, and the checkpoints are generally pretty generous. There is some bullshit. So, this whole first area is a big reference to the original Blaster Master. Just in terms of the overall level layout and these side-scroller areas. In the original Blaster Master, you would also, because of how unforgiving the game could be with gun levels, because gun levels is how you upgrade your gun, you would have entire areas for side-scroller without any upgrades. These are just dedicated for getting ammo and supplies, which is one of these ones. So there's not actually anything here. This is only in the first game, thankfully. And there's not too many of them. They're mostly in this area of the game. Afterwards, most of the caves you go into are going to be relevant.
Okay.
Also, notice you have a strafe button in this game. I highly recommend you learn it and use it. It is super useful.
Right.
So how many shooters like this have you played that actually have a strafe button? It's wonderful. I just highly recommend it.
Yeah, there's not a lot of top-down shooters. I would imagine a lot of like newer indie styled top-down gunner games probably have a strafe button.
I don't know. This isn't really a genre I go for. It just works in Blaster Master because of the tank gameplay, which, I mean, the tank gameplay is what you're going to be doing well, about 50% of the time. I'd say it's a good even half and half. Maybe 60-40 in favor of the tank. But point is, you're going to be in these sections, or in the tank a lot.
Well, my issue with this game, it's the reason I didn't really jive with it as much, is I really like the platforming, 2D platforming in this. I'm not a huge fan of the top-down shmup sections.
Yeah, and admittedly, that is a big barrier to this game. If you really, really do not vibe with the switching gameplay, there's not really much I can say to that.
Yeah.
It's just other than, well, I hope you tried it and enjoyed the game somewhat, but
I get the appeal of it. It's like sort of a similar thing we talked about in the Sonic Adventure 2 playthrough. It's like, yeah, it's got the variety. And a lot of people are good with that. And I'm good with that sometimes. I just don't like the variety here because I feel like the top-down shoot-'em-up sections just aren't as good as the platforming, in my opinion. Like, the platforming here, there's a lot of exploration to these environments. They're really fun to explore. I love the weight of the tank, how it slides left and right. It's just a very satisfying movement system for me. But I'm also, like, I went into this with the impression that it was somewhat like Mega Man, and I was just wrong in that category.
No. The structure, this is a Metroidvania.
Yeah.
And so is the original. Before the genre existed, like, which is really impressive to see before Symphony of the Night. And that can throw off a lot of people. Yeah. This game is going to be the closest to that Metroidvania style with one large interconnected map, even though they are separated into like sectors.
Right.
Oh yeah, and even like Metroid. Water physics! Accurate water physics. Oh no.
Quote unquote accurate. You're still in a tank and jumping.
Well look, the wheels pop up, so they have a jump mechanism.
Clearly. That would just cause
Yeah.
your tank to flip over if it were real water. I'm just saying.
No, it's got auto balancing. They thought of this, okay?
Gotcha. Sorry, my bad. I misunderstood the depth of this technology. I like the little swim.
So right now you're
animation.
intended. Yeah, it's funny. So right now these sections are going to be primarily Jason on his own. Which thankfully it's in water. You don't have to worry about fall damage. It means you're a little more squishy and your gun is pathetic. Because your gun levels just do not apply to the outside, which is really funny.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
this is
imagine they
me-
did that to make you want to always be in the tank while you're outside, essentially.
Pretty much, though, if you play the the DLC characters, their tanks are basically the same as your tank in this game. So they're actually more encouraged to play almost entirely without the tank. So they have higher damage and no fall. None of them will get fall damage.
Ooh. I like that.
So if you ever want an incentive to replay the game, there you go, I guess. Though I hear it's better done in Blaster Master Zero 2. Because one of the DLC characters is basically has all the same abilities as his original game counterpart.
Okay, so you said this is a trilogy. So is it just Blaster Master, Blaster Master Zero, and Blaster Master Zero 2?
No, Blaster Master Zero trilogy. There are three
so
Blaster
there's
Master
three
Zero games.
Zero games.
We will get into how they all fit together in the lore, in the history of Blaster Master in the next
I'm
part.
just gonna
because
be
there's not gonna
thinking
be much
about
to talk
this.
about.
Just gonna be thinking about this all week, and you're doing this to me. I like that gun. You know,
Okay,
No.
so there's a huge balancing problem in this game. This gun is way too powerful. Oh my goodness.
and it's
There
the
is still a
very
weapon
beginning.
weakness system, but pretty much you are going to be using this if you can keep it, or the electric gun. And then the ice gun, or the flamethrower, only in the ice area of the game. And that is it.
Mhm.
Unless you lose the gun levels, in which case you'll probably be really annoyed and just want to quit the boss fight and try to get the gun levels back. So, in a way, it does encourage you to really memorize boss patterns so you don't take damage, but this is broken. And also, enemy weakness is important. That's why some of those enemies are just taking a ton of hits to destroy, because I'm not using their weakness.
Right.
But at the same time, this fuck you laser goes through walls and can be spammed and can stun enemies a lot of the times.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't matter if it takes as many hits if they just sit there and take it.
Yeah, it's funny. Also,
Mother Brain.
yep, it's just straight up.
Metroid's a
This is-
fucking thief.
This is a boss in the original as well, which is really funny.
Metroid fucking
Also
stole
funny, I
this
didn't
shit.
notice this until recently, but this is actually a standard enemy type in the second game, but you only ever fight it in the tank. So it's not a boss. Because you have the tank. Which is just really, really funny. But if you have
That's
the
funny.
fuck you laser, it's a non-issue.
Yeah, I think I died to that boss.
Probably didn't have the laser, shaking my head.
I probably didn't.
So this game does, as far as item completion goes, this will be a 100% playthrough because this game has two endings. The horribly bad ending that basically berates you for not finding everything, which is your clue to 100% the game, which will get you the good ending. That's all you have to do. 2 and 3 operate differently, but in this first game, all you have to do is get all the items and you get the full ending. And
Oh, damn.
just do it because the normal ending is just horribly depressing. Same thing with 2. Kind of 3. But you still want the good ending 3 because, well, you came that whole way.
Dude, those are even fucking Metroids.
Yeah.
Metroid is the most unoriginal franchise ever now.
Alright, so of all that's left is going to be some cleanup of the rest of what we can do in this section. So, well, we might as well get into what the hell this game series is. So, Blaster Master, or actually, okay, so Sunsoft is a Japanese developer. They made some really random and out there arcade games as well as NES games for the NES. Or, yeah, for the I guess only for the NES. But point is, nothing was really sticking. They were just always kind of a small-time developer. However, the head of the studio and their lead designer, I actually don't know if he was the head of the studio, but the lead director, who would become the lead director of this game, of the original game, wanted to make a game that pushed the NES to its limits. Would have been the best looking game on the console at the time. Had amazing gameplay, was just going to steal the show and put Sunsoft on the map.
Right.
They developed the game Meta Fight, where you on a planet called Sophia, which is being invaded by aliens. You play as a character named Cade Gardner, who, with the assistance of a woman named Jennifer, she builds him a tank, which he then flies from space onto the planet, and then you proceed through the game to defeat the aliens and save the planet Sophia. This game was not a success, and when it was localized in the US, they just threw that entire plot out the window. And instead, you just play as a normal Earth boy named Jason, whose frog goes missing in the underground of Earth, which is filled with dangerous mutants, and he's found a tank. So he takes that tank, and he goes to save Fred. And that's the plot of Blaster Master.
Awesome.
Other than that, it's the exact same game, but the intro cutscenes were changed to reflect that it was on Earth instead. It's really, really funny.
So does this follow that continuity or the original Japanese continuity?
Yes.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So, Blaster Master was actually a success. Nothing too big, but Blaster Master in America was much more of a success than Meta Fight in Japan ever was. So Blaster Master got sequels with game by stealing games that Sunsoft had developed that had no relation and were converted into Blaster Master. They made dedicated Blaster Master games, outsourced it to other people. Point is, they kept making Blaster Master games. But I think only one other Meta Fight game as a spin-off, and that still didn't do well. So at a certain point, all the games were just brought into Japan as Blaster Master. The series even got all the way onto PS1. But also importantly, it got a whole lot of lore expansion from just what the initial game had.
Right.
Introducing other characters and just a lot of crazy stuff. But eventually the series would just kind of die out until this series was brought back to kind of revive it with Inti Creates as the lead developer. Now to get into what this game is in relation to the originals. This game is a sequel to Meta Fight, which is heavily hinted at the end of the game, using the lore of Blaster Master as its basis for a new story.
Okay.
So to clear up your confusion, this is a sequel, but only to Meta Fight, not the original Blaster Master. So it pays a lot of homage to the original Blaster Master by reusing characters and names and such. But it tells its own story, and you also don't need to know the story of Meta Fight.
So this is sort of like them retroactively restoring the Japanese continuity while still getting the benefits of it being quote unquote Blaster Master.
Yes. This is one of the most unique things I have ever seen, and I really love it.
I actually really,
I have
really
never
like
seen
that.
localization and original JP merged this well, other than like some instances of Sonic, like Dr. Robotnik and Eggman being combined. But never whole series continuities. It's just amazing.
I think that's hilarious that it's just like, oh yeah, guys, it's Blaster Master. It's definitely not whatever the fuck the other thing is called.
So you just get the best of everything with this. Like, original Metafight fans are going to be happy because that game is just now straight up canon and the actual game that happened. And then Blaster Master fans are going to get to see everything repurposed and rebooted in a really, really cool way.
So,
And
if
not
you
even just
wanted
the
to-
original game, but like all the expanded stuff too. It's all brought together for some really, really cool fan service, and even other Sunsoft titles. This is basically a giant love letter to Sunsoft, a company most people have never heard of.
So, if you wanted to get into this series, you could theoretically just start with the Zero games.
I have never touched Metafight or Blaster Master other than to try it out a little bit on Switch Online because it is there. I did not like it.
Metafight
It
or
is
the original
old school.
Blaster Master?
They're the same game.
I guess.
But I mean, I specifically played Blaster Master because that's the
Okay.
one available to me. But they're Nintendo hard. They're old school. They're super old school. Anyways, the
Right.
shotgun here is their weakness.
Grenade launcher.
Oh yeah, and the grenades are also helpful. I don't use them too much in combat though.
The shotgun looks so piddly. It's sad.
You just have to be careful with it, but it is fun. I like it.
I just wish it went out a little bit further. Just a little.
But it's okay. We got the fuck you laser.
See,
These
this
guys
is a
have so much
scenario
health,
where you might want to use the shotgun over the laser.
Nope.
Well, you are one-shotting them with the shotgun, whereas
Yeah, I'm
with
doing
this,
just
you're
fine.
giving, if you're shooting at one of them, you're giving the others a chance to get closer. So it's theoretically
issue.
less optimal.
It is. But it's also a
Thunderbreaker.
non-issue. Oh yeah, this is like one of my favorite sub weapons and the one I'm going to be using for a good long while. So like the current one you have is the spread shot of missiles you can fire. Okay, so what happened there is you have to press up on the D-pad to get Jason to start swimming, but up on the D-pad is also how you enter doors.
Gotcha.
So that was just unfortunate.
Do you have air meter in this?
No. You have fall damage, but no air. Look at the helmet. He's protected. He's good.
Yeah, well, I just want to point out, when he got into the tank in the cutscene, he didn't have all that gear on.
No, all this came with the tank, I think.
Fannin.
Funny enough, it says your blaster is upgraded to be able to destroy those creatures now. Basically, you just have a more powerful shot. But your sub-weapons can also now do damage to it,
Gotcha.
which is, I don't know, it's just really funny.
I also, before the part ends, I wanted to point out, I am seeing a lot of, I think that maybe Axiom Verge might have also taken a little bit of inspiration from this on top of its Metroid NES inspirations. It kind of gives me a similar vibe, somewhat. Some of the weapon utilities.
Probably, I know Axiom Verge came out before Zero, so it would have been
Yeah.
the original.
Yeah.
But
If
that
the
wouldn't
original
surprise me because Axiom Verge seems to be mostly based on NES-style games versus anything Super Metroid and Castlevania brought to the table.
Yeah, I just bring it up because, like, the weapons in Axiom Verge all have their specific use, and it seems like that is something that this game also has, maybe
Yes.
to a lesser extent. But
I
like
need
it.
to play that game again. I feel like I would enjoy it so much more now. It was impossible for me back in the day because I sucked at it.
mhm.
And games
I
like it.
I got like 2/3 of the way through it, and I need.
That's
to,
about where I
wanna
got.
I want to go back and try that one again because it was fun. I was having a lot of fun with it.
Did you get to the glitch power up?
Yeah.
Where like double tap forward and you just glitch through walls.
Yes, I did.
I
It
thought that was the
fucking
coolest
cool.
thing ever.
Yeah. So awesome. We got to do that game for the channel.